week. I've started the recording. You're going to see that pop up on your screens there. And so I hope y'all liked some of the music. I tried to switch it up there. I try to get people a little bit awake. I know it's 11 o'clock, but some people do sleep in. I came from South Florida, so 11 o'clock is early there in the 954 area. If you've ever been down there, nobody's up this early in the morning down there. And so my name is Mr. Haley. Some of you may have had me in other classes. I am the online manager here. Miss Parker is out for the day. She should be back tomorrow, so I am filling in for her. I do teach this class along with several other instructors here as well, so I'm familiar with the class. I have all her information, so I'll be continuing on for her. So I'm just filling in for the day. All right. Does that sound good for everybody? Yes, yes. And so I do watch for the emojis and everything so that I know that you're out there. You're just not running it on autopilot. And so I will be asking questions and that as I go through the presentation. I use multiple screens so that I can watch everybody while I go through here. Yes, Jose, I see you. And so I see everybody out here. And if I notice people aren't quite paying attention, I do ask that person directly. So I'm keeping watch on things, not because I just want to annoy you. I trust me, I have lots of better ways to annoy you if I wanted to do that. I could throw in random polling, things like that. So uh, I see Anthony, you're coming through, but I'm not hearing you. So are you talking, Anthony? I'm not hearing you. Okay, your mic is off now. Okay. I was picking up sound you were flashing, but I wasn't hearing what you were saying. And so, but if you do have questions, feel free to unmute your mics at any time and ask questions. It is a class, it's a live class, so you could joke, you could have fun all the way through it, just as though you were in a real class. I'm not one of those instructors that, oh, don't say anything, blah, 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 blah. That's no fun. I do like to have fun. A little bit of background before we get going. I have 13 years working at Shands Hospital. If anybody's into their MAs in that, Shands Hospital over in Gainesville, it's a teaching hospital at the University of Florida. So I've done everything there, the most disgusting stuff all the way through to the fun stuff. Any welders out there? Where's my welders? Usually there's some welding people out there. Okay, Jose. Uh, I've done, if anybody knows companies like AutoNation. AutoNation was one of my clients, a big company. They brought in over $1.5 to $2 million on my account every month for the company I worked for. Yeah, the people who don't think welding makes money, yeah, that brought in a lot of money to the company that I worked for. So very much in demand places. So when you're thinking about these careers, realize how big of an influence those departments can actually bring in. $1.5 to $2 million per month is what they brought in. So when we're talking about the skills in these classes, the soft skills where you need computer skills, where you need these skills, there's a reason for it. You don't run a casual shop with that kind of influence. Electrical, I can flip on switches. No, I can't wire things. Am I a professional electrician? No, but I do a lot of smart switches, programming of those and that. Where's my electricians out there? The electrical field is changing dramatically. It used to be, oh, wiring three-way switches, this and that. How many people are familiar with Epic Universe already out there? They are eating up the electricians right and left. Let me tell you, that place is so wired for everything. If you are looking to do some high-tech electrical work, that is the place to go. Of course, Universal itself and Disney. Electrical work is not your typical electrical work there with lots of relays, motors, etc. So if you want to really advance, those are places to look for. And also even companies that you won't think of, like all the Six Flags parks and that, they do all their stuff here and then they ship it out. So that's a big thing there. Where's my vets, my vet assistants? I know we've got to have some of those in there. All right. If you hear jingling in the background, I do apologize. I've got an African gray that likes to join in on the class. If you don't know what an African gray is, he is an obnoxious 30-year-old parrot I have sitting here in the room. He has the intelligence of a 5-year-old and the temperament of a 2-year-old. He doesn't understand why he can't be on camera. And so, but I run a 501c animal charity. It's called Hops a Lot. We rescue domestic rabbits. And I have been doing wildlife rehab for over 20 years. Anybody ever hear of the Gator Boys? If you've heard of the Gator Boys, a friend of mine, she's a veterinarian. We help her and the Gator Boys. We do the dentals on all their gators that you see on the television show. They pull them out of the swamp. We sedate them, and then we do all the teeth extracts, cleanings, etc. on those gators. If you've ever seen Dr. K's Animal Emergency Clinic, occasionally you'll see me on there helping Dr. K out. She's a little kooky and things like that. We've done video shoots for Abercrombie and Fitch, Vera Wang. We filmed inside the Versace mansion, etc., etc. Numerous videos for Pitbull. We filmed with The Rock. So pretty much every one of your careers I've touched base on, not because I was so bad that they kicked me out of those careers. It's because I'm 3 days older than dirt. So I can tell you the skills you're learning in this class are needed. Now, how many people go, I know how to fill out a resume, I know how to apply for a job. I don't see the full extent of why I need this. And if you're in that boat, you're exactly in the place where you need to be, because you need to be around people who have had experience on all sides. How many people have heard of a company called ADP, the payroll people? Most people, when they look at payroll checks, etc., they'll see ADP on them because their companies process through ADP. Okay. 30 years working for ADP, I have interviewed thousands and thousands of people. Okay. A lot of times people come in and within minutes, I am going, there's no way I'm ever going to hire you. Okay. Looking at resumes within the first 3 lines, there's no way I'm ever going to hire you. Okay. The way you talk, the way you sit, the way you present yourself, the way things are written on your resume, the way your resume is formatted, you'll never get through the door. Okay. The way you come through the door dressed, the way you stand, all these things. You can have incredible skills, but if you can't present them, you're never going to be able to show them. Does everybody understand this? Okay. You have to get in to show. And I'm always going to have that one person who goes, like my friends in Miami, oh, no, you didn't. You not be talking to me like that. They come in with all attitude. Well, if they don't want me, they can't have me. Okay, they won't have you. How many people want money? Anybody out there want money? Anybody want ka-ching? Anybody want the fine things? I know I do. I have Lamborghini taste and Dollar Tree funds. Anybody in those situations? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you buy Tommy Hilfiger things. Yeah, you can't buy Coach, so you buy Catch. Mm-hmm. You can't buy Gucci, so you buy Gucci. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know all those knockoffs. You have to be able to present yourself. And that's what this class does. It shows you the proper ways and the proper techniques. Since there are going to be people who go through this class and say, I'm not going to do these steps. And this class is full of advice and how to do things. And you don't have to do them because, like all advice, you can take it or not take it. Okay, always understand that this is your career and you will form and do it the way that suits you best. Everybody got that? Everything will be advice and you have to form it and shape it the way you want. But that also means one other thing. You are responsible for your success or the lack of it. So if it doesn't succeed, everybody understands there's only one person to blame, right? Everybody has that. You can't say they did it, they did it, they did it, they did it. Okay, this is where we take ownership. So as you're going through here, find what works for you and let's create your career. All right. Not all these techniques are going to work for you. So let's customize this to work for you. All right. 100%. Not everything's going to work for anybody. I am as honest as I am ugly. I always tell everybody that. Honest as I am ugly. And I know you're thinking, he's probably dishonest because look how good looking he is. No, it's true. I have no reason to lie to you because I want you to succeed. That's my goal. Okay. And the reason why I tell you this is how many people have heard of the projects? Chicago, Cabrini Green, horrible, horrible place. Grew up there. I didn't know it was bad till I moved out of there, made it out, and then I found out everybody thought it was so horrible. Okay. You know, I don't want people to do that. When I went to college, I worked at a Walmart and a Denny's, and I slept in my car between my classes because you do what you do. And I'll tell you, I don't think my schedule was near as bad as some of y'all. And I'll never say that I had it worse than anybody else. Everybody's schedule can be really rough, really bad. How many people are running out of time constantly, barely getting by? It's a struggle. Yeah. Give yourself props, give yourself credit, give yourself the praise you deserve because we're beat up every day. Let yourself feel good about everything you've done so far. All right? Promise me that you'll do that because we need to hear how good we are. All right? So big props and let's get this rolling because the sooner we get through this, the sooner we can all have coffee, right? And that's what it's all about, coffee, right? Yeah. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to be doing some screen shares. And remember, if you have questions, please ask them. I noticed the chat's disabled in this class. Otherwise, I would say, type a chat. So unmute your mic if you need to. Uh, and every now and then I will stop and we'll do random karaoke. We'll pick somebody. And so everybody's got a song ready, right? That they're going to do. Otherwise, we'll pick the song for you. Okay. That is a thing in this class, right? You guys do random karaoke, right? Uh-huh. I know Tony's waiting. Tony's got the song picked out and Jaden's got their song picked out. Yeah, okay. We're good. Okay, so I'm going to do some sharing here. The screen's popping up there. All right, I'm going to expand my screen here. Da, 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 da. And I see some things on the screen that's not quite working. I'm going to fix that for Dr. Parker today. So if you're in this particular group and that, you're in the week one module here. I'm just going to go through. We are on Wednesday. You're going to have the participation assignment that I'm going to go through on the live presentation today. And then you have your informational interview. I'm going to click on that. Now, these things are really interesting. In an informational interview, you are the one doing the interviewing, okay? So what that means is you are going to find somebody and you are going to interview them. And so, because as much as we love our careers, typically you're going to go through three major ones throughout your entire career. That is normal. Some people get upset if they switch careers. Now, what that means is like if you are in electrical, you may go into a specialized form of that career. You may go into a subset of it. It doesn't mean that you're going to switch entirely. So what you're going to do in this one is you're going to schedule this informational interview. And this is one where you are going to find somebody that is in your career field. Okay. So in this one here, you need to find and name the person, their title, and the person, uh, uh, the name, the title, and the employer of the person you will interview. Okay. And you're going to submit all this information in. And this particular one here uh, should be somebody that is in your field. Okay. Has everybody got that? They need to be in your field. Okay. So if you're into welding, they need to be somebody in welding. Now, some of you might be going, well, I don't know anybody in my field. Don't forget about your instructors at the campus. They're used to having students interview them. And when you're going through there, I want you to think about what questions you might ask them. You know, find out the nitty gritty of the actual work. What was it like to get your first job? Did it meet your expectations? What really happens on the job? Ask the questions that you truly want to know. Okay. Now, part one of this, you're actually scheduling this. Okay. And so you need to find out when you're going to be able to talk to this person and everything. And next week is when you're actually going to talk to them. Okay. Or I mean, submit the work. So you're going to schedule it and then you're going to come up here, click start the assignment, type in the name, title, and where they work, when you're going to talk to them, and then click submit. That is the assignment, not the actual interview. The actual interview you're going to turn in next week. So everybody got that? So this week, it's just who you're going to interview, where they work, and the time you're going to interview them, and click submit. Okay? So that's that assignment. She does that assignment a little bit different than I typically do that. And then the resume session. Okay. How many people already have a resume? Anybody already got a resume out there? Okay. So even if you have a resume, you need to schedule a session with Career Services. And what you're going to do is, depending on your campus, because we have people from different campuses in here, you're going to find your campus and find out how to schedule with them, because everybody's different. It'd be too easy if everybody did it the same. Set up an appointment with them to meet, click start assignment, and then text entry. And you're going to put in here what date and time you're going to meet with them. And that's it. You're going to click submit assignment. Now, what's going to happen is somebody in career services that you meet with, they're going to review your resume that you already have, or they're going to help you create a resume. And they're going to check to see that it meets all the criteria that you would need for your career. Okay. And what they're looking for are things like keywords. Has anybody ever heard the term keywords? Anybody ever heard that? So these are words that your career field are looking for specifically in your resume. If your resume does not have those keywords, no matter how many times you submit it, you're never going to be selected. How many people did not know that? It's okay to not know things. So if you did not know that, please raise your hand. How many people did not know if you didn't have very specific words that are important to your career, your resume will never be selected? Because when you fill those online forms out, it's going through and it's searching. And if those words are not on there, boom, you're never selected. It doesn't matter if you fill out 200 applications, you will never be selected. It's not fair, but it's the way it is. Okay. So that's what they're looking for. They're checking to make sure you have those words so your resume will work. All right. So that's why it's important for them to go over it with you. Now, when they go over it with you, they're going to sign it. And next week, you're going to send that signed resume in another assignment. It will have to have that signature on it. Okay. So please, this is very important. Make sure you do that. It can be annoying to go in. I know if you don't want to go in and set it up. This one's very important, and that when you do the mock interview, please do not miss that. Make sure you do that assignment and go back in and do the mock interview when that one comes up, because what they're going to do is they're going to interview you, and then they're going to let you know what you do right and what you're not doing quite as well as you should in an interview. You're going to get real time information telling you how you can improve your interview skills. Okay. So in this one, all you have to do is put the date and time you're going to the resume thing, click submit assignment, boom. And career services will let us know if you don't make it there, and we'll know because you won't have the signature from them when you do your second assignment. Okay, everybody good on that? Yes. All right. Okay. So that'll take care of those assignments there. And it's best in these classes, stay caught up. That way you don't get snowballed with a bunch of assignments. That bird is just going to drive me crazy today. Okay, so that takes care of that. Everybody ready to start the slide presentation? Yes, yes. All right, so here we go. Will take me just a second to get this going. We'll see how the technology works here. Okay. Lost my, give me 1 second here. My cursor's stuck on another screen. I'm getting it back here. Here we go. Okay, I got it on that one. I'm switching over to an iPad here. That way I can scribble. See if it works. Yay, it works. Okay. So we're going to talk about workplace readiness. We're going to talk about basic skills, and we're going to talk about those categories of soft skills. And we're going to talk about ethics. We hear that term, but a lot of us don't really know what ethics are. And we're going to talk about digital citizenship, which sounds kind of futuristic. Okay, and we went over the informational interview. We talked about the resume session, so we got those done. And of course, we're going to have that live conference assignment. And please make sure you get those in on time so you get that attendance. Okay. So soft skills are also called employability skills, foundational skills, workplace skills, and transferable skills. So how many people love doing the stuff in the lab, in the shop, things like that? All those hands-on stuff. Everybody loves that, right? Okay, those are called hard skills. Okay, the things you're doing with your hands, those are hard skills. Those are things unique to your career. Okay, those are all the things unique to your career. The other things, those are called soft skills. Okay, you can take those things from career to career, and those fall under different categories. These are all the things you use when talking, communicating, things like that, and they fall under basic skills, thinking skills, people skills, personal qualities, and we're going to talk about them. So this usually shows up on midterm. Hint, hint, midterm. I know I've seen the midterm. Okay. So basic skills, reading, writing, speaking, listening. Okay. Math and technology. Those are basic skills. Okay. And what basic skills are? These are the things you need to get along in society. Okay. These are fundamental. You need to know these things to get around in society. You do need to know how to read, write, speak. And when we say listening, it's active listening. That means you're understanding. We're not talking about in your relationship when someone tells you to do something and you don't do it because you ignore them. How many people do that? I do that all the time. People tell you to do something and just like, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you ignore them. Now, the hard skills, again, those are the ones we like to do. Those are the ones where we get to actually do something. Okay. Now, thinking skills are not always the ones you really think about. Funny I say it that way. These are also good midterm items, which is next week, by the way. Decision making is a thinking skill. Creative thinking. People don't give themselves credit for creative thinking. Problem solving. How many people are good at problem solving? You figure things out. Problem solving is not just, you know, stopping something bad from happening. It's figuring things out. Okay. Visualization. When you can see how to do something or how to advance something, that's visualization. Or reasoning, where you can understand things, where you tell somebody, I can see where you come up with that. How many people do that? Where you can understand the other person. You don't have to agree with them, but you understand where they're coming from. Okay, that's a skill. And the reason why I'm telling you this is I want you to remember this. Skills, I can't write very well today. Skills equal money. Okay, money. Can y'all remember that? Skills equal money. Okay. And there's a reason why I'll tell you that, because how many people will say, I'm good with machines? How many people will say something like that? I'm good with working with machines. How many people say things like that? Okay. Wrong. I would never say that. You know why? I'm good with working with a TIG welder. I'm good with a MIG welder. I'm good with working with a pipe bender. I'm good with working with this. You see the difference? You gave me one skill. I'm good with working with machines, and it doesn't tell me anything. By listing them out specifically, I can have 4 or 5. That's money, 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 money. And I'm telling you specifically what I can do. Okay. I'm good with animals. Okay, that sounds like you're a side dish. Like a potato goes with a steak. You're not a potato, okay? Good with animals, okay? I know how to do restraints. I can do cultures. I can do this. I can do that. List specifically, okay? There's a difference between speaking in general terms and specific. Okay. I'm just not writing good on my iPad today. Okay. That came out horrible, but how many realize we speak more in general terms? We typically do. When you're putting things down on your resume, please be very specific. And as we're writing about ourselves, be more specific. Okay. Do you see the difference? The more you tell very much about your skills and yourself and what you can do, the more likely you are to be hired and at a higher rate. In your career, if you come in and I'm hiring and I'm interviewing you, I'm going to try to get you at the lowest dollar amount. Everybody understand that? I want you as cheap as I can get you. Okay? Your goal is to get the most money out of me. Now, if I hire 5 people, all 5 people are not going to leave with the same amount of money. The better you present yourself, the more money you're going to walk out of there per hour. Learn to be more specific. I'm going to pay you more. All right? Okay. People skills. How many people think they're good with people? How many people say, I'm good with people? Nobody? Oh, so there we go. We got some people. Okay, so people skills breaks down into social perception. Reading a room, understand what's going on so you don't say the wrong thing based on what's happening in the room. You might be right, but don't always say what you think based on what's happening in the room. Okay? If you walk into a room and everybody's crying, you don't go, oh yeah, that person's really dead. Wrong thing to say. Keep your mouth shut. You don't say that because everybody's already upset. Okay? Just kind of be quiet. That's social perception. Leadership. That's a people skill. Being able to group people together and take over and guide everybody. Teamwork. Okay? Even working with people you don't like. How many people work with people they don't like? I know I do. There's people I don't like. There's people who don't like me. We don't have to like each other to be a good team because I know they can do things I can't and I can do things they can't. And together we make a good team. Outside of work, we don't have to see each other. We don't have to share the same air, right? Collaboration, that's where I can do part, they can do part, back and forth. We can pass it. That's great. You're good at that. You do that part. I'll do this part. We'll switch. Respect. Okay. Respect what the person does. Okay. They have a position. They need to do something. You respect that at all times. Okay. They are in a position that deserves the respect. You may not agree with how they got there, but they're there. Your time will come. If they got there because they shouldn't have, they will burn out. Okay. Diversity. There's a lot of talk in the news and this and that about woke and DEI and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this stuff has been around before it became a hot topic and everything. So what diversity is And we'll just cut to the chase. You're going to work with people of all ages. You're going to work with people of all ages, races. You're going to work with people from all nationalities. You're going to work with people of all types of belief systems and this and that. You're just going to. On the job, everybody is a worker, period. Everybody understand that? They're a coworker. You need to work with coworkers. Personal beliefs should not enter the work. If personal beliefs are entering the work, something is wrong. That's not what you're there for. It's not a social club. Everybody's there to work, period. Work is work is work. Okay? I work with people with way different beliefs. I don't care. You know, I'm an 80s punk rocker. Okay. I loved my green and blue mohawks and this and that. I still love my punk rock, my heavy metal. I love to crank that, but then I'll put on country music and this and that. I know my friends that like country music, they don't like my punk rock. We have different beliefs. We have, I grew up in Panama. I lived in Miami. I also lived in Arkansas. Different belief systems, different cultures, different this. Doesn't matter. On the job, we're coworkers. That is diversity. Okay. How many people work with older and younger people? They do the job. Okay. Those are people skills. The more you can work with people as people, everything's great. Personal qualities. How many people like themselves? This is a tough one. Some people don't value themselves as much as they should. That's self-esteem. Okay. We need to like ourselves, push ourselves into believing we deserve what we deserve. We are good. Some of us come from backgrounds where we've been put down. Okay. Pull yourself up. Realize that you are good, you are capable, and I want you to know that I believe you can do anything that you truly want to do. Okay, if you really want to do it, you will find a way and you can do it. And I do believe in you. I just need you to believe in yourself. So trust and know that you can do that. But if you don't really believe in yourself, that's going to be hard. And self-management. Self-management. How many people have a temper? Anybody got a temper? Or how many people cry too easy, or they show their emotions too easy. This is self-management, okay? If you have problems like that, make sure you know on the job, you know where every bathroom is on the job. And if you find yourself not being able to contain those emotions, go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, close the door, breathe, okay? Breathe. Control yourself, breathe, okay? This here is one of the largest reasons why people lose their job. Anger and breakdowns, okay? No joke. Losing tempers is one of the #1 reasons why people lose their jobs. No job is worth losing it. Anything can be redone. Any problem can be corrected. Okay. If you're being abused mentally, verbally by someone above you, find another job, do something. Don't lose it and cause issues for you. If you need to, just leave the job. All right. Take care of yourself and your own mental health. Protect yourself at all times that way. Don't end up in a situation that could cause you a problem on the job or possibly a legal situation. Always maintain yourself and protect yourself. And the other one is responsibility. How many people have ever really messed something up big time at work? I have. I literally let the dogs out at a kennel that I worked at. I accidentally opened the wrong door and let all the dogs out in the play yard and had to get them all. It's not easy rounding up 40 dogs at one time. Uh, but I've done other things by accident and uh, own up to it. Okay. They're going to find out. And if you don't own up to it immediately, when they do find out who it was, the consequences are worse. Always be honest. Okay. And do your own work and always be honest. This is a list of some of the transferable skills. Physical appearance, presence, always be on time, be punctual, dependable, reliable, dress appropriately for the job. Everything is not a suit, okay? Florida, not appropriate as a suit, business casual or scrubs or work attire, appropriate for the job. Attitude. How many people got attitude? I came from South Florida. We originated attitude. Oh, no, you didn't. You'd be looking at me like that. Okay. Watch your body language when you go in, how you're standing, arms crossed, things like that. That indicates that you are on guard. You're pushing them away. How many people realize that? When you stand with your arms crossed, you're signaling to other people that you don't want to be bothered. You're 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 showing that you're defensive. Anybody aware of that? So be careful about that. Your mindset. If you have a negative thought process, you're making things harder for yourself. We have to go through everything anyway. Being positive, you stand a chance. Go through it negative, you're already having that. Okay. So be more positive. Positive attitude towards coworkers. Be positive. I know for sure they're going to mess up today. See how that's positive? Instead of thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to mess up today. Be positive about it. I'm positive they're going to mess up today. Work ethic. That's where you take ownership, but also look at this, willing to learn new things. How many people don't like to volunteer for new things at work? Honestly, how many people don't like to volunteer for new things? Okay. So this is what I want to give advice on this. So when they come out and they ask who wants to learn how to do this, there'll be somebody who'll go, will I get more money for it? Wrong answer. Take the training, and if you don't get more money, apply someplace else and take the training that they gave you, put it as a skill on your resume, and use it to get more money someplace else. Never ask for the money up front because then they'll stop giving you training. Take their training, go somewhere else. You don't have to be loyal to a company because I'll guarantee you they're not going to be loyal to you the way they were back when I started many, many years ago. It's okay to take someone else's paid for training and go elsewhere. Okay? Either they pay you or you take it and run. All right? That's okay. It's your choice. But take the training. Free education's free education. And we've seen layoffs. We've all seen them. The one with the most skills stays. Got it? All right. Okay. And so meeting those deadlines. I had several teams. We have a deadline. If my team finished before that deadline, I paid them time to be off. So if we had a week to finish something and we finished in 5 days, they got 2 extra days paid off. My supervisors would say, well, if they're finished, we can give them something else. I said, then they'll slow down and they'll take the full 7 days. This costs you nothing. It boosts their morale. We always beat our deadlines. You get bonuses for that. You want to slow them down, you'll stop getting bonuses. It's a win-win. So this is why get in the habit of beating deadlines. Communicate, verbal, written, body language, listen. When you're given specs, read all the specs, not halfway, and guess the rest. That goes for your assignments that you have in this class. Read them all. I guarantee some people are reading part of them and guessing the rest. Get out of that habit because you're going into careers where specifications are key. If you're not reading all the specs, you're not going to be doing the job correctly and it's going to cause problems. So start reading everything fully. Okay, everybody got that? Read everything fully. The exceptions is if you buy furniture that has to be put together, you throw the instructions away and you end up with lots of extra pieces. Everybody knows you don't read instructions on assembly. All right. Okay. Teamwork. Learn to work together. Even if you think less than highly of the other person, be respectful. And if the other person's not respecting you, tell them, please be respectful of my thoughts. Quit talking over me. Let's work together. It's okay to stop the other person and request to be respected. Communication works that way, okay? Be prepared to work each day. Don't show up and then have half a day trying to prepare to work, okay? Focus. If you have questions, ask, okay? And so these are all the things, about leadership, etc. So we'll keep on rolling here. Now, skills that people are looking for now. This was the top skills of last year. Problem solving, teamwork, communication. Notice which they want people who can work together. They know you can do the job, but they're looking for people who can work together. That's saying something. We know you can do the physical work, but we're having problems with people not willing to work together. How many people have seen this out in their current jobs right now? People can actually do the work, but they're not working together. They're not getting along. This is what they're looking for. You need to be able to express that in the interview. Okay. You need to show you've got a good work ethic. You're flexible. You do have technical skills. Okay. You know how to work a computer. You're not an expert, but you can do it. They need things put in, etc. You're friendly. There's people who go in and they look like they ate something bad with the expression on their face. It's like, what's wrong with you? If you're not being friendly in the interview, what's it going to be like working with you? Be a little creative. If I give you a set of instructions and it looks like you're going to have to change something a little bit, and you just go, I can't do this. It's not exact. You need to be able to do that. Tactful. That means you know how to act appropriately. You don't say rude or crude things in a group when that's not appropriate. Okay. People who do have a foreign language skill, that is a plus because companies will bring people in that are clients and they may prefer to speak another language. Investors come from around the world. The United States is global in that we sell to other places. And that brings us a lot of money into the States. Okay, ethics. People will say, oh, I have good ethics. That goes against my ethics. but sometimes we don't know exactly what it is. So these are our moral principles or beliefs that direct our behavior. Okay, our behavior. But workplace ethics are a little bit different. That is the behavior in a business setting. So, how many people research a company before they apply? How many people do, or you just apply? Because, see, this is where sometimes people run into some situation. Because a workplace, their ethics might not match yours. And that's a problem. Because if their ethics go against yours, you need to follow the workplace at work. And if you can't, you're not going to work there very long. Okay. So you need to look at the company and make sure it's right for you. It's not saying that your ethics are wrong or theirs are wrong. They just don't match. Don't go to a workplace that is exactly against your ethics and then want them to change because they won't and you won't change yours. That wouldn't make sense. Why would you change what you believe just for a job? That does not make sense. So try to find one that matches yours so that you're happy. Okay. And a business has a code of conduct and a code of ethics, and they sound very, 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 very similar to each other when you hear the definitions of them. Okay. And so it can be very, very confusing. So a code of ethics is a document, and so is a code of conduct. A code of conduct is a document that tells how employees are to behave while at work. Okay, so this is employees and how they should behave. I think I need a new tip on my pen here. And a code of ethics is how the business should be conducted. But both are documents. And so on the midterm, a lot of people will put down, well, one is a document and one isn't. No, they're both documents. So the conduct, that's how employees need to behave on the job. They literally tell you, this is how you will act. Okay. The ethics is says how the business will be conducted. Like managers cannot take gifts from other companies. Okay. Code of conduct says employees cannot engage in horseplay. Okay, everybody see the difference between the code of conduct and code of ethics? Everybody got that? Because your business where you work has those. And it comes in those employee handbooks that we don't read, but we are obligated to follow. Okay. Now, there's unethical and illegal behavior. That's discrimination and harassment. And people don't necessarily remember that it's very, very specific. Okay. Discrimination is actually defined as unfair treatment of a group of people, while harassment is targeting a specific person. So discrimination's a group, harassment is a specific person. Okay. And discrimination is treating someone unfairly because of race, gender, religion, or other protected characteristic. Okay. And I'm going to be very specific here. Sexual orientation has not ever been added to this at a federal level. Okay. So again, a lot of heated talk in the news about this and that. It was never added at a federal level and in most states. So if you're hearing a bunch of things, politicians and this, it's never been included. Okay. Harassment is the same definition targeted at a specific person. At a federal level, sexual orientation has never been included in here. The reason why I specify this is so that you have the legal definitions, okay? And that's very important. Age is included in there uh, based on gender. That is included in there, but you have to prove it. Now, there is an issue here in Florida. Florida is a right to work state. How many people know what right to work means? Anybody here know what right to work means? Got a couple of people. In Florida, you can just be fired. They do not have to give you a reason. They can fire you. You can be doing everything perfect. They just come up and fire you. They don't have to give a reason. But you have an employee handbook. Everybody knows what that employee handbook is. Inside your employee handbook will show you what they have to do to fire you. That is the contract. And a lot of people don't realize that's a contract. That contract in there will tell you if they have to do 1 write-up, 2 write-ups, 3 write-ups before they fire you. If that's in your handbook, that supersedes or overrides the ability for them to just walk up and fire you without a reason. When you get that employee handbook, check that. Hold on to that. That's your contract. Okay? There's a reason why you have that. Okay? It's a good thing. All right. Okay. And if you don't think it happens a lot, here's the misconduct in the workforce. Abusive behavior, 22%. Lying to employees and stakeholders, 25%. Conflicts of interest, 23%. Health violations, 22%. Pressure to compromise standards, 30%. Yeah, it's just, it happens. And so protect yourself. Okay. How many people have heard the phrase, they're just in it for the money, in referring to businesses? Ever hear that? That's what they're supposed to be. 100%. That's what a business is supposed to be. If you haven't realized that, what do you think a business is supposed to do? They are there for the money. If they're not, we call them out of business. 100% a business is there to make money. They're not in it to be a friend. Otherwise, we would call them friends. Okay? Don't criticize a company for being in it for money when that's what they're supposed to be. Otherwise, they're nonprofits, charitable organizations, etc. Businesses are there to make money. Some do it more ethically. Okay? So, uh, there is a video in here to watch at this point. I am going a little bit longer, so I am going to skip this video here and go on. Oh, that's a blurry old one. Uh, so there's some guidelines to do to see if they pass an ethical test. Use your common sense, okay? If it doesn't make sense to you, don't do it, okay? If it's not going to benefit you, don't do it. If you would not be comfortable with everyone knowing you did this, don't do it. Okay. Uh, if you think that other people's opinions would be, bad if you did this, don't do it. Okay. Uh, if you don't think somebody could make you look better after doing it, don't do it. Okay. Don't compromise yourself by greed, speed, laziness, or anything else that would tarnish you. Okay. If it shocks you, again, don't do it. Okay. So there's a video break here. Um, I can play this and y'all can take a little bit of a break during this, or we can continue on. Um, so I will give y'all a choice. How many people want the video? Raise your hand. Okay. How many people want me to continue on so we can finish? Okay. Continue on. All right. Yeah, we've just got a few more slides. Okay, so digital citizenship. That's the responsible use of all the technology when you're working. Uh, Protecting personal information and for you and the work programs, etc. And be aware of online safety, okay? And when you're working, make everything positive. Don't slam people through your work stuff. And everywhere you go, you leave behind information, okay? Don't download software that belongs to your work, okay? They have a license and you don't want to be a pirate, okay? Even though it's fun in Tampa during, those days, don't be a pirate at work. And be aware of digital security. When you walk away from your screens, put it back on a lock screen and things like that. Watch what you have exposed. Don't leave, customer information up. If you're in MA, don't forget HIPAA laws. Don't leave patient information displayed. If you work in a vet clinic, a lot of people don't realize this. You can't release pet information to people other than the owners, things like that. Okay. Intellectual property. That's somebody's own creations, things like that. You can't just share that with other people. You have to watch out for infringement, uh, things like that. That information belongs to the company. You can't give that to other people. You can't go to somebody else's business and switch jobs and take that information with you. And so you have to be careful of that. Copyright is a legal acknowledgement that they own that. Okay. Plagiarism. You have to be careful with plagiarism because that's when you say somebody else's work is yours. Here at the college, using Chat GPT, things like that, we consider that a form of plagiarism. That's not your information to use. And if we catch you using it and we do checkers, that will tell us if it's been generated. You have to redo the assignment, and if you continue to do it, you can be removed from your program. So you have to be careful about that. Proprietary information, those are things like trade secrets, like special recipes, things like that. Um, you can't, take over. Um, Also, be careful with the companies you work for. How many people have heard of Gatorade? Anybody hear of Gatorade, the drink? Okay, that was invented by students at the University of Florida. Because they were students at the university, they do not have any rights to it. The university owns all the rights to it. They get all the money from the name and the formulas for it. The students that actually invented it got nothing because it was part of a project under the university. If you create something while you're working at a company, even if it's your own creation, done after hours, if it's done with their stuff, they own it. Some people don't realize that. You do not own it as long as it's done with them or you're employed by them, it becomes theirs. Okay, netiquette. This is when you're using any form of the internet, email, things like that. That's netiquette. It's just like talking to people face to face. Don't call them names. Don't use rude things. Be polite, okay? You're representing your employer. No matter how angry you get, do not flame them, all right? Even though we would love to. Remember, they're human, same standards of behavior in real life. Know where you are. Respect their time and bandwidth. Always make yourself look good. Keep everything under control. Okay? Try to be the bigger person. You don't have to make, oh, you're right, you're right, you're right. You can stand your ground and say, I'm sorry we disagree, but boom. Okay? Just do it politely. Okay. Everybody ready for your assignment today? Yes, yes? It's going to be real easy. I just need you to name the first 1,500 people in the phone book, and we will be fine. All right? So we went over this uh, earlier. What is the difference between a code of ethics and a code of conduct? Remember, I told you both were documents, but there is a difference between them. Okay? Everybody got that? What is the difference between a code of ethics and a code of conduct? Make sure everybody has that there. And I get my cursor back. Here we go. So I can end this show here. All right. And I got my cursor back. There we go. Any questions about anything I went over today? No questions? Everybody's good? Yes? Show of hands. Everybody's good. Jessica's good. Jose's good. All right. So I will send the link out to the recording and everything. Hopefully I did okay for y'all. I didn't keep you too long. And Miss Parker will be back tomorrow. And y'all will have a great day. And don't forget to get that question answered. Everybody, I want to see 100% attendance. More importantly, I want you to have a great day and I want you to have an awesome career. And I will see you somewhere out there in cyberspace. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.